Look around you. Weakness reigns in men who once dreamed of greatness. The world praises indulgence and mocks conviction. But you were not made for mediocrity. You were not born to bow to pleasure or bend under fear. God designed you for war, spiritual, internal, and eternal. The nights that almost destroyed you were not your end. They were your awakening. Each wound, each tear, was God carving weakness out of your soul. You were never meant to live soft. You were meant to rise hard, to rise holy, and to rise ready for battle. God does not build men in comfort. He builds them in chaos. He shapes their hearts with loss and tempers their will with fire. Every storm you face is divine heat. Every heartbreak a hammer strike on your soul. The world calls it suffering. God calls it creation. You are not being ruined. You are being refined. The pain you endure is proof that He still sees potential in you. The forge isn't meant to feel good. It's meant to make you great. From brokenness, He molds strength. From ashes, He raises warriors of faith. Your flesh is your greatest battlefield. It whispers comfort when you must endure. It promises pleasure when you must fight. But the war is not out there. It's in your heart, your habits, your mind. The devil's lies sound like your own voice, trying to drag you away from discipline, from duty, from God. You can't silence the whispers, but you can drown them in truth, prayer, purpose, and perseverance. These are your weapons. Win the battle within, and nothing external can conquer you again. The war in your soul is where true warriors are forged. Discipline is not a burden. It's a blessing. The world calls it obsession. God calls it obedience. The man who controls his habits, his hunger, and his heart can't be defeated. Discipline is how you speak to heaven through action. When motivation fades, discipline remains. Wake before the sun, train your body, sharpen your spirit, refuse comfort, reject excuses. Every act of discipline is a prayer that says, "I'm ready, Lord. Use me." You can't serve two masters, comfort or calling. Only one will rule your soul. Every man has a cross, a personal weight meant to strengthen him. It may be pain, loss, temptation, or fear, but it is yours, designed by God to forge your spirit. Stop begging for lighter burdens. Pray for broader shoulders. The cross doesn't crush you. It cleanses you. It's where your selfishness dies and your purpose is born. When the weight feels unbearable, remember who carried His own cross up the hill. If He endured His suffering with purpose, so must you. Your cross isn't punishment. It's your path to power. When heaven goes quiet, don't mistake it for absence. God's silence is not rejection, it's refinement. The blacksmith does not speak while forging his blade. He lets the fire do the talking. In the same way, your silent season is where strength is made. When the world forgets your name, that's when heaven carves your destiny. If you feel unseen, it's because God is still writing your story. Stay patient. Stay faithful. The silence is not the end. It's the shaping of your soul before the storm you're meant to face. Comfort is the devil's most seductive lie. It tells you that you deserve rest when you haven't earned it, that pleasure will fill the void where purpose should live. Every man who falls to comfort loses a piece of his calling. The devil doesn't need to destroy you. He only needs to distract you. Comfort numbs the fire in your chest, dulls the sword of your faith, and puts your destiny to sleep. God calls his warriors to discomfort, to walk the hard path that few have the strength to choose. Refuse softness. Seek the struggle. That's where growth begins. Pain is the language of transformation. God does not waste your suffering. He sanctifies it. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every failure, it's a divine invitation to rise. Real warriors don't ask, "Why me?" They say, "Strengthen me." The road to greatness is paved in bruises and blood. You are not being punished. You are being purified. The same fire that burns the weak refines the faithful. So when life cuts deep, don't curse the pain. Thank God for trusting you with it. He only burns what he intends to bless. Before God reveals your mission, he must remove your distractions. He isolates you, not to punish, but to prepare. When everyone leaves, when no one believes, when silence becomes your only companion, that's when your spirit meets him face to face. The wilderness is where prophets are made. Isolation teaches you how to depend on him, not the world. Every minute spent alone is a test of faith. Endure it, and you'll emerge unshakable. The man who survives isolation never fears abandonment again. Pride blinds men from their divine purpose. It convinces them they are the source of their own strength. But pride is weakness disguised as power. God breaks pride through pain. He humbles you to heal you. When everything you built falls apart, it's not cruelty, it's cleansing. Pride must die so faith can live. True strength comes not from arrogance, but from obedience. The man who bows before God stands taller than any king. Remember, humility doesn't make you small, it makes you unstoppable. When the world falls to chaos, God's warriors rise in silence. You will know them, not by words, but by the fire in their eyes. Their discipline is their weapon, their faith, their armor. They don't beg for peace, they prepare for war. Every act of resistance against sin is rebellion against hell itself. You were chosen for this age, this moment, this fight. The darkness grows, but so does the light within you. You are not just surviving, you are standing as God's soldier in a faithless generation. The path of obedience is the hardest road a man can walk. It demands sacrifice, surrender, and relentless faith. But every trial survived, every temptation resisted, every tear shed in prayer, it builds your crown. Obedience is not weakness, it's divine warfare. It says, "I trust you, Lord, even when I don't understand." That's when heaven moves. The crown doesn't come from victory over men. It comes from victory over yourself. And when you finally meet your Maker, he won't ask how comfortable you lived. He'll ask how faithfully you fought.